coming up.
The people down below are brushing their teeth and going to bed, and I'm just floating above them. It's awesome.
And a full instrument aircraft with the same fuel economy as a car. You're watching fullflap.tv. Firstly, cars vary a lot when it comes to miles per gallon. You can get a smart car which claims to do about 60 miles per gallon, or perhaps a Hummer at about 12. But here's an aircraft that does 23 miles per gallon. That's pretty much the same as a Grand Cherokee, but with a lot more performance. Now you might be saying, that's still pretty hungry, but when a car does 23 miles, it does it around corners, it has to follow the road, go to the next junction and turn to get where it's going. In an aircraft, pretty much go in a straight line, so the 60 miles per gallon of a smart car in reality drops massively and the economy of the aircraft goes up. The next bit to consider is that you're travelling a great deal faster for that fuel economy. Most cars get their great mileage figures at about 55 miles per hour, while in this test the Liberty XL2 was cruising along at 50% of its throttle at 120 miles per hour. I wonder what the fuel economy of a smart car would be at that speed. The Liberty XL isn't pretty, let's be honest, but it is one of the few new breed of aircraft that you can fly on instruments in cloud, at night and in the sunshine, and for that sort of economy it makes aviation again realistic for many more people than in the past. And worth a mention is that many new entry-level light sport aircraft get the same miles per gallon as an automatic BMW 7 Series, and again the plane goes in a much more direct route. Now, every night aircraft around the world are put to bed, but do they need to be?
Have you ever wondered what happens to light aircraft at night? They go to bed, don't they? Ah, night night.
No, they don't. It's not much different from flying during the day.
Of course, it's a bit dark.
Which is why you're watching me on this grainy night vision camera. Now, you might be wondering, if it's dark, how can you see all the mountains, and for that matter, how can you see the runway? Well, for starters, it's not pitch black. I mean, just look outside the window at the moment, and you can see there are lights everywhere. You know, it is really peaceful being up here. You kind of feel like you've elevated, almost like a Buddhist monk, onto the astral plane. You know, the people down below are brushing their teeth and going to bed, and I'm just floating above them. It's awesome.
I don't know about you, but I've never flown at night before. The takeoff was pretty easy, just like normal. You point the aircraft at the sky and push the throttle forward. But what about landing? Rob, fullflap.tv's resident flying instructor, in fact he does quite a lot around the office actually, is also a night rating instructor, and he reckons that I can do it first time.
Well, let's see if I can do it then. The usual checks then, if we have a look down here for starters.
Okay, so set it up. Yep, all the way down. Great. Yep. Oh, a little bit higher.
Let's get that power off. You know, you still struggle to see where the actual runway is.
Not over there, you don't.
No, I mean, it's a lot dimmer, and then as you're right, it becomes brighter as you get
absolutely
more towards it. I see it very clearly there. Oh, that's beautiful. Nicely lined up. This is like the stuff you see on airliner videos, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, so is there anything I need to just think about as I'm coming in here?
Well, first of all, you need to watch your speed.
Yep.
Get that speed back.
One thing I've noticed is that the 3D feels different. It doesn't, because you can't see the text of the tarmac.
That's true.
On the left, just by the runway, you can see 4 PAPI lights. Doesn't matter what that stands for, but too many reds means you're too low, too many whites means you're too high.
Yep. This is very interesting using the PAPIs. You know, during the daytime, you don't really look at them at all, do you?
No.
Then I've got 2 of them, and then, right, so I'm about right.
Lovely.
Yep, 3 station flaps on. We're actually a bit low.
Are you still wondering how you avoid hitting mountains? Well, firstly, there aren't any around here.
Which you'll know if you've ever been to London.
Secondly, and this might sound silly, but mountains don't move, so once they're on your chart, you know where they are and how high they go. All you need to do is look at this to know you'll be clear of
You
them.
should start to see the landing light having some effect soon. Got 100 foot to go. You can just about see now that the landing light's coming in. Don't worry.
Yeah, I can see the runway now. Yep. Yep. Okay, and
brilliant.
yes, there we go, down. Okay, better go round.
There we go.
Get that full throttle back on.
Flaps down, full power.
Okay, excellent.
And that's it. Start your rotation. Brilliant.
Good.
And try and climb out again at 17 knots.
You know what? In terms of actually flying, it feels identical to normal. It's just the way it looks, isn't it? It really is.
Oh yeah.
I know that sounds obvious, but it just, you get different sensations of what you're looking at.
Yeah, that's right. It's a lot smoother at night.
As always, every country has its own set of rules for night flying, even though for us pilots the air is still exactly the same, the flying is still exactly the same, and, well, night looks like night wherever you are in the world. In some places, though, you need just 5 hours of training, and if you keep in practice, short winter days no longer are an issue for you.
There's no sunlight glinting off the lakes, there's no mountains to see, no rolling fields, but as we've just seen, it's still pretty spectacular at night with all those lights all around. The other great thing about night flying is that if you haven't quite got to your destination yet and the sun's gone down, you just keep going. Good night.
That's it for this week. We'll be back with more features, interviews, stories and all sorts next week, so join us then. I'm Vicky Ferrer and you're watching fullflap.tv.